death of 10 Jawans and the driver in the attack in Dantewada region is a reminder that red terror still exists. Despite the corridor shrinking drastically and a large number of this Naxal cadre either returning to mainstream, dropping arms or being neutralized, Maoist terror continues to raise its ugly head time and again. News18's Arunima and Ankur have pieced together the developments, the build-up, and of course the reason why this attack was successful for the Naxals and of course ended up with our Jawans losing their lives. Interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, in India, because of internal activities against the state, it is red terror that claims maximum lives of our security personnel. Now, a video of the incident reportedly shot by the driver of one of the vehicles in the convoy captures gunfire moments after the vehicle carrying 10 DRG men was blown up. The impact of the blast left the rifles that the DRG was carrying twisted and mangled. Now, after the IED blast in Dantewada, investigators have found a tunnel at the spot with traces of explosives. The cops believe that the tunnel was packed with explosives and a wire was used to trigger the IED from inside the jungle. The cops have found the soil dug out of the tunnel dumped a little distance away near a pond in the forest. Meters of wire have also been found at the spot, confirming the suspicion that the alleged Naxals were sitting in the forest away from the road to detonate the IED. The NSG National Bomb Data Center and Central Forensic teams are analyzing the evidence on ground, but sources said preliminary assessment suggests about 50 kilograms of high-grade explosives could have been used in the blast. Traces of nitrate have been found on ground. Police suspect this to be ammonium nitrate mixed compound used for coal mining in the area. Now, interestingly, the sequence of events that led to the 11 deaths in the Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh Dantewada district on Wednesday can be traced back to the 18th of April when the convoy of a Congress MLA came under fire. So what transpired on the 18th of April? On the 18th of April, Congress MLA Vikram Mandavi's convoy came under attack from Naxals in the insurgency-hit Bijapur district of the state. The attack on Congress MLA's convoy failed to harm anyone as the assailant's gun reportedly jammed and the driver of the MLA's car managed to speed away from the scene. Now, post this, there were countermeasures that were adopted. Because what happened following the failed attack on the Bijapur MLA Mandavi is that the District Reserve Guard launched an operation to neutralize armed Naxals that took them to the Aranpur side because they were last spotted in that Bijapur region, Bijapur area. Government sources say the security personnel moved from their headquarters in Dantewada town to the Aranpur police station. These DRG personnel left their vehicles parked at the station for 2 days. Government sources say that it is revealed that the DRG team managed to take into custody 2 of these Naxals during their operation, and the arrested duo were with the personnel when they came under attack. But sources also tell us from within the government that the attackers were reportedly aware that the DRG team had left their vehicles at the Aranpur police station and would have to come back there to retrieve these vehicles before they head to the Dantewada headquarters. However, no road opening party, wherein troops are stationed on both sides of the road to secure sensitive convoys in terrorism or Naxal-affected areas, were actually set up for the DRG team. So one of the questions is why? And did that make them sitting ducks? Government sources tell News18 that the initial assessment has confirmed that the Naxals targeted the DRG commandos with the help of locals. So there are some locals who are working with these cadre, Maoist cadre. Sources said the convoy's first vehicle, which was carrying the arrested Naxals, was given a pass, so they knew which car was carrying who. But the second vehicle was flagged down by some locals. The locals stopped the second vehicle in the pretext of seeking donations for the Ama festival. There's a local festival. But they were actually doing a recce. Now, on hindsight, that's the understanding. The IED blew up the van around 200 meters from where it was allegedly stopped by the locals. So were these locals involved in trying to check if that vehicle had only cops in it? And then was that the signal to get these guys ready to set up and blow up the ammunition 200 meters from where they were stopped? But it did not end there. These Naxals had another plan. Government sources telling News18 and confirming that the vehicles carrying the DRG commandos had weapons, which the Naxals reportedly tried to loot soon after the blast. Now, such was the impact of the blast that some of the rifles were mangled, but their attempts, sources say, were thwarted when personnel in the other van, when they saw this blast behind them, turned around, opened fire, and the attackers, as they managed to flee, but they couldn't loot the weapons inside this vehicle which they had blown up. The surviving DRG team carried out the evacuation. That's what they did. And of course, the latter part of the search and combing operations. So this is what transpired. But did the DRG team actually walk into a Naxal trap? That's the other question that remains, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big, big question. What are the lapses? Use the same road twice, opening themselves up to monitoring? Did they not watch out for locals that could be sympathetic? Should they have left their vehicle for 2 whole days at that police station? The convoy had hired 2 vehicles, raising the risk of information being leaked. Why did they do that? The absence of an advance recce by a road opening party, that is again another cause for concern. SOP says travel on foot or motorbike, that was also ignored. Lapse 5 is no reinforcement even after the Naxals fired post the explosion. Why were there reinforcement not said? The Aranpur attack that has claimed 11 lives is the 7th such big attack in Dantewada by Naxals in the last 13 years. And all of them, ladies and gentlemen, came during the tactical counter-offensive campaign launched every summer. So who's providing them int? Let me bring you some of those attacks. March 2014, 16 people were killed in a Maoist ambush in the Sukma district. Again, March 2014. April 2015, 7 elite special task force personnel were killed in Bastar. February 2020, 2 Cobra commandos were killed in Bijapur. March 2020, 17 police personnel were killed in Sukma. April 2021, 22 security personnel were killed at the Bijapur-Sukma border. April 26, 2023, 11 security personnel killed in this IED attack in Dantewada. This needs to stop, ladies and gentlemen. The body count of our Jawans, because of red terror, Maoist terror, is on the decline. But it needs to be brought down to 0. And should basic SOPs now be followed thoroughly? Should training be implemented so that there are no lapses? Time to give all of this a serious thought.